live from Disruption Network Studios. It is EC Radio time. How are you, people? Hope you're enjoying your hump day. It's the Hump Day Hoedown. Happy Inauguration Day to everybody out there. It's good to be an American again. Anyways, won't get into any politics. Much love to my sponsors. Thank you so much to EJA Moving Services, the professional movers. When you're ready to move and relocate, hit up Eddie and his crew today at 315-335-0516, ejamoving.com. There's no task they can't handle. They'll drive your car to Florida. They'll move your studio. They'll move your office. They'll move your grandmother to a nursing home. They'll move you to Japan. They'll do pretty much any freaking thing that you need them to do. They're awesome. They're a great service. Check them out. Home of the free boxes, too. So some of those other moving services don't have free boxes. I don't get that. But EJA gives you free boxes on every one of your moves, so give them a call today. 315-335-0516. Tell them Uncle Z sent you. Also, shout out to my attorney, Dave Longaretta, who's been keeping me out of trouble for so many years. Big ups to him. 315-735-6162 is the number you can dial if you need legal advice. Also, big ups to my friends over at Utica Coffee, wakethehellup.com. I'm drinking the pistachio today, and it is delicious. Tapping into my pistachio roots. It's so good. Check them out, wakethehellup.com, or stop down into their shops. They got some really cool flavors, and it's so much coffee and cool little merchandise. And shout out to Frank and Heather. Also, much love to Saranac Brewery, always keeping us hydrated here around Disruption Network. So thank you to the brewery. Check them out, saranac.com. I did a contest on Reverbnation recently and opened it up to 1,500 different bands. I got 1,500 different submissions. And one of the bands that stood out over the rest of them is this band Jupiter Rising, and on the phone with me, or on the video conference with me right now, is my man Johnny Jupiter. What's up, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. How you been?
Good. Thank you, man. How's things with you holding up in Philly throughout this pandemic and lockdown that we've been in?
It's been rough for everybody. I understand that, and I feel bad for everybody suffering through this. For us, it's it's a little hard to play live in the network and go see the people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a little rough, but I'm sure as a country as a whole, I believe that live music will be coming back, and we really get back into and all of us enjoying it as we do. So but I do have some stuff coming up soon. I have
Awesome.
a tribute act that I do as well. So
great. What tribute act is that now?
It's called Controversy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Prince tribute act. I'm a huge Prince fan.
Yeah, man. I hear so much Prince in your music too.
Yeah, huge influence. So when he passed, I went, I want to do a show like the soul of Prince. Put a show together that emulates his live show, not just the records.
Mm-hmm.
So we do that, and on February 13th, we'll be up out in Wilmington, doing it at a place called Bar 13, and it's a lot of fun. People come out. If you guys are around, you can come out and check it out. You'll really get a cool show that feels like a party, if you will. You know what I mean?
Take me through the set list. What kind of stuff you cover from Prince? I love Prince. I'm a big Prince fan too.
We're doing everything from your classics to like Controversy, even go as far back as Bambi. And we go all up to like the Purple Rain stuff. Obviously, no Prince fan can be worth his weight in salt if you're not going to cover any stuff from that album.
You're right.
We get into even the later stuff like your Get Off and things of that nature. Money Don't Matter Tonight. We'll be getting Diamonds and Pearls. I just happen to have the vocalist working with me that can really give that full harmonies and the nuances vocally that Prince gave, which is good. And the instrument the guys that are playing the instruments are I think they're all brilliant and do a really hard job of not only getting that music, but following signals on stage almost to give it a live and different type of show every time you come see it.
So is this a full-on production? Costume changes and whatnot, all that.
Maybe not there yet, but it's hard because when we start playing, we don't stop. It's like there's no you see you go and sometimes you go and it's one song and then stop and then the next song. All the songs bleed into the next song, so it doesn't stop. So it's a little hard to get costume changes.
Gotcha. No dead air though. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice, Johnny. Give me diamonds and pearls. Come on, let me hear it.
Diamonds and pearls.
I love it. I love it. That's one thing I love about your music is you mix so many genres in it. Because I went down the rabbit hole. I heard strongman. The strongman's got that really slap bass going on in the beginning with a nice drum beat, and then it just kicks into this nice rock groove. So I'm hearing multi-genres. So when I hear your music, I hear some Al Green, I hear some Lenny Kravitz, I hear some even Glenn Hughes from Deep Purple. Are you a Deep Purple fan?
I am. I
Mm-hmm.
am. As a matter of fact, and a lot of people don't realize this when we talk about music. Like when I talk about my influence in it, and I mention Jose Feliciano,
There you go.
well, that guy when I was a little kid. I'm sorry, I'm using my hands a lot. I'm from
That's
the
all
East
right.
Coast.
Well, I'm Italian.
Uh,
I talk with my hands too.
so with Jose Feliciano, his chord structure was so beautiful. I used to watch it as a little kid, and somehow that those inversions, if you will, got into me, and I use a lot of really cool chords to make it sound good like that, you know. So he's a huge influence, you know.
I love it, man. Who else were some of your influences growing up? Who was the first band you were obsessed with, or first artist growing up?
Michael Jackson,
Michael Jackson?
yeah, I was, an '80s kid, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
So Michael was the biggest thing walking, and it was the Off the Wall album, which is, by the way, brilliant,
yeah.
brilliant.
Quincy Jones.
Um, oh, just it's disgusting,
Mm-hmm.
and it's timeless. No matter where you go, you put that "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough" on,
Yeah,
everybody's gonna dance.
yep.
It jumps out it jumps off the record, hands down. One of the best records, pop records I've ever laid my hands on. So I think he was the first one, and I moved on to bands like Megadeth. You know, who I got into. Um, Obviously, Prince, Stevie Wonder, um, Hendrix. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Like I said, Deep Purple, Black Sabbath.
Yeah,
I even got into a lot of the hip hop stuff. Your Notorious B.I.G. because of his lyrical content. Your the storytelling of that guy with guys like Jay Z and Big L and Tupac and those guys. You know, even EDM stuff I hear where some of the bass is just disgusting. And as a musician, I always found it to um, take in everything, listen to it, sort of, and even if you don't listen to it for a long periods of time, really try to take something from it. And if you do it, legitimately, it'll somehow get into your music. Yeah.
yeah. That's you have a smorgasbord of genres going on in your music, though, man. There's
Oh.
just multi-genre, and it's what I really enjoyed. I'm into that rocket soul feeling, and that's what you guys deliver, rocket soul. Right? I think that's kind of like your shtick, your mo. It's kind of like your genre. You fall right into that category.
It's funny. I call it Rebel Soul.
Rebel soul, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's got blast off written all over it though, because it's rock, it's funk, it's soul. You got some blues in there as well, and definitely that hard rock. You could feel though that hard rock in there. Uh,
Oh.
so prior to we getting on this Corona coaster, was Jupiter Rising gigging a lot? Were you how often were you guys gigging?
Well, we were actually in the middle of putting up some new songs that I was going to submit to a place that I signed in the UK some time ago, right before COVID. Um, but that's sort of, with COVID and not being able to be in the same room, I've been sort of taking the initiative to just write the stuff, and we're trying to play it safe because the guys have families. So shortly we're going to go. We've been planning on going back in and recording the new songs. A song called "Want to Be a Star" and one that I wrote with my significant other, Love Ortiz, and brilliant vocalist. She's an alien, and um, there's some people that when you hear them sing, you
Uh-huh.
go, "That's not right. That's not right."
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't even sound like that.
Yeah. You're like, is that note even on the scale?
Right, and go, how do you get from there to there?
All right.
And she's very good at it. And I'm very proud of her to be working with her. Not only are we you know, significant others, but we work together, and it's really cool. Yeah.
Does it make it easy to work together, or can it be difficult at
No.
times being in a
Oh,
relationship?
oh, no, no, no. It's not easy. She's a bull. I'm a bull.
You end
You
up
know.
clashing sometimes.
Oh my God, dude, listen. Yeah, it's only because I think that to some degree I have some modicum of control,
Hmm.
and when it's your your girlfriend or a wife or what have you, you don't.
Nice. Have you guys been live streaming any events, or have you been doing any kind of live streaming thing, or?
No, we haven't
No.
really.
No.
I think controversy has, but controversy's been playing out like once a month. We book
Awesome.
ahead of time,
Hmm.
and so that's sort of been my output of late. Until all of this subsides and I can really get into a room with my Jupiter Rising guys and lay it down and sort of tweak it. Using because I like to feel the person in the room with me.
Hmm.
I like to, be there with them, whether it's, a Ronnie Mayer or who's that funky bass line in the beginning of a Strongman, that
Hmm.
bump, 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 that was done by Ronnie Mayer, and him and I were at the studio one night, and that sort of kicked in, and I was like, oh, whoa, 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 what was that? Because I like telling the guy, in there going, no, no, play it. You know the song, play it, but give it a little bit of your juice too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then that's how you find some cool stuff.
Absolutely. All those mistakes lead to so many different possibilities, right?
Oh, mistakes are great.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed, man. Indeed. Man, when this whole thing comes back and we're off the Corona coaster, we got to get controversy up here in upstate New York, man. Have you ever gigged up around here?
We haven't. I'd love it. I'd like to. I'd love to get both Jupiter Rising and Controversy up there at some point.
For sure. Would you
Put
would you
something
be
together.
opposed to doing double duty in one night?
Oh my God, are you kidding?
I
Like I
love
said,
it.
there's a huge, come on, we're supposed to love this, man, right?
Yeah, man. That's it. It's part of your fabric, part of your DNA, right?
Exactly. We're all upset, and I think I can speak for all the musicians,
Hmm.
worldwide. When I'm like, we're all upset here. Like it's hard to all of a sudden, bang, you can't do it no more. You know, it's rough for the musician psyche, especially ones that are playing out, to say, I can't do this right now. I'm not allowed to do this on either on the scale of the frequency that I'm used to. So, you know, I double duty would be hey, I just got a little happy birthday message from the drummer Carmen D'Amico, who's actually the drummer on that song Strongman.
Oh, nice.
That
Cool.
that track was actually recorded live. Well, except for a couple of overdubs here and there, but a lot. We were in that room, me, Carmen, a guy named Aaron Weiss, and I were in the room, and let's count it off. Let's get the right take.
Yeah.
I want it to feel like, I don't want it to be sterile. I don't want it to be overproduced. I don't want it to be um, um, inauthentic. So let's get in there and literally do it like smile with each other. Take a drink if you got to. You know, puff something if you got to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get into the mood, get into your ism, if you will.
Yeah.
So and that's how that's why it's got that energy, that real energy, like we're having fun in there. You know,
And it's raw too, right? Nothing better than raw.
raw completely.
Yeah. I love it, man. Have you been more creative since we've been on this lockdown? Have you been writing more, or has it been less?
I think it goes in waves.
Uh huh.
I have been writing some cool stuff, you know, in the coronavirus, but um, it's it comes in waves. I'll have days where I'm really creative, and then there's days where you know depending on what's going on. Obviously, of late, a lot of things with stuff that have been going on, and it's taken me away from it because I like to know um, what's going on in our beautiful country. I think we all love it and should stay aware. That's all. So
Indeed.
it comes and goes. You know. Ugh,
Are you a melody
but
guy or a lyric guy? What comes first for you, melody or lyric? And also, are you like a voice memo guy? Are you recording stuff into your phone?
oh, Mike, listen, I may be filling up the memory. on this
Ha!
on my phone. I have so many 30-second clips in there. And you know what? Honestly, there's no rhyme or reason. The it, like I was just thinking about this earlier that what I meant the song to say by the end of it is completely different than when I started. So sometimes it's like you'll start out with a chord or something, or you'll start out with something that you walked around, jogging or whatever you were doing, and something funny will pop into your head, and it'll just grow from there. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no particular thing. You'll accidentally you hit the a weird string on the guitar, and it'll remind you of something, and then it's off to the races. You know.
Uh-huh. Yeah, for sure, man. Voice memos too. So there's no formula with you in writing music. You just
Yeah.
whatever comes to the head.
Right. Whatever, just it just whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went through 1,500 submissions on Reverbnation, and you guys stood out. Can you talk about how important platforms like Reverbnation is to you? I know you're very active on it, and have you seen a significant growth from platforms such as Reverbnation in like sales on albums or either in live performances prior to Corona?
You know, it's a lot of singles. People
Yep.
are trapped in their houses, or there's not as much to do, frequently.
Hmm.
So you sort of have a captive audience to some degree, and they're coming in and they're downloading and viewing the songs, and it's made us number one in our Philadelphia market for like 2 years or something like that.
Amazing.
Like, yeah, like we're always number one
Yeah.
in the Philadelphia rock category. And I appreciate everybody that does it. I mean, it's thank you. I mean, that's what you want. As any musician, just want you to listen, man. That's all. If you like it, say you like it. If you don't like it, say you don't like it. Just don't ignore
Yeah.
it.
Does that number one ranking translate into attendance at your live shows prior to Corona, though?
It did.
It did.
Um, yeah, it's been a little bit, but it did. People will come from other places sometimes because they heard, yo, dude, I heard that song of yours. I wanted to hear it live. You know, and the thing is, what's cool is they go, dude, it really sounds like the record live, like and then that's when I tell them that's because the recording is live. We want that live feel. So.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. I'm hanging out with Johnny Jupiter from Jupiter Rising. Check them out. You can find them pretty much on all streaming platforms. Where can you find your music at?
Pretty much all the streaming ones, Spotify,
Mm-hmm.
Reverbnation, all your major ones, for the most part. You can, Jupiter Rising. It's a rock category. You'll see songs that I recorded with guys like Joe Bello and Bobby Duane, and who was playing some of, like You Made a Promise, songs like that. It had guitar player by the name of Mark Esky. I love those dudes. Larry Campanella, who when Mark had to go, he moved away. I came in and filled in, wonderfully. I just wanted to mention those guys because they're on some of those tracks as well. Um, they've been invaluable, to my growth as an artist. They've all been there, every step of the way. In either at various times. So I just wanted to make sure I get that in and thank them, like Carmen D'Amico and Ronnie, Ronnie Mayer and Aaron Weiss and Jimmy Rossiolo and those guys. It seems like I have a I've been lucky, to have a wealth of musicians that, I write the songs and they're willing to either, help me craft them, or shine them up a little bit, and are willing to go into the studios and play and sort of to some degree I've been blessed to be able to pick people to play on certain stuff, man. So that's sort of cool.
It sounds like you got a big musician pond that you can fish out of on a daily basis.
How cool is that,
Yeah, it's
right?
great. Yeah, it's good to be
You
diverse
know,
too. And plus
right,
that
right.
makes you a better player too, because you're playing with so many different types of people, and you learn from all different everybody. It's
Everyone, everyone. Guys, like I have a thing called that we do, and this is just it's a cool thing where um, It's a band called Joy and Repetition, and I got Tony Flagello and Mike Rule, Elliot Garland and Mike and Elliot on bass. Tony's on drums. Disgusting, disgusting. Um, Love Ortiz is doing lead vocals with me, and it's funny. We'll get together and have a pack of songs, and I have a list of songs. And while we're on stage, again, the music doesn't stop. I got that from DJs, and a lot of times in the clubs, what kept people dancing is the music never stopped,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
So why do bands stop? I'm like, well, let's take a page from the DJ and never stop the entire set. Don't stop. Have the music always bleeding into each other, and we're on stage discussing during the songs what song we're going to play next. It's the coolest thing ever, and everybody's like, "Cool!" It's a different show every single time. So that's cool. And we do it a lot, and we play around in Philly and Jersey and Bucks County and that type of thing, and people come to hear that funk, that rock groove, that soul. And we'll throw
Yeah.
anything in there. It doesn't matter. We go Motown. We'll get into, Sly and the Family Stone, Prince. We'll get into Michael Jackson, Bruno Mars. We'll get into some Lizzo, whatever's clever. We just get into it, which is cool.
Anything's to get those booties moving, right?
Right. Absolutely. I
talk
like
about
that.
talk about the scene down in Philadelphia. Honestly, I gotta admit, I've never been to Philly. I've never experienced the music scene down there, and I know a bunch of bands that are down there. Talk about the music scene down there. It's got to be rich, and there's so many different genres going on down there as well. I know that there's a bunch of popular jam bands that are huge down there, and then a funk and soul and all that kind of. Talk about the scene down in Philly.
It's it's a cool scene.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of little cool places to play if you want to play. Um, some of the bigger places like the Trocadero, not so much now for Corona, but there's places like Johnny Brenda's and Time and escapes my mind right now. World Life Cafe. There are all these little places and little pockets where you can jump in and play, and even on the outskirts of the Philly suburbs, there's places that you go in and you meet the coolest musicians, and there's all a vibe. It's like we're post genre to some degree. You know, there's everybody's jamming with everybody. You go into a jam session and you got some cool, maybe older jazz cat up there with this hip hop kid who's
Nice.
up there with some dude that's in the heavy rock and some other dude that's in the gospel, and they'll get together and start playing because music and laughter is the universal language, and when you do it through music, it seems like it doesn't matter. The genre don't matter. It's can grab your thing. Can you play, man? Come on up and cut heads with us. That type of deal. Doesn't even matter the play the level that you play with. That doesn't seem to be an issue down here in Philly either. Beginning, intermediate, it doesn't matter. Come up and vibe with us. That's what's cool about the Philly music scene.
I love it. Music and laughter. That's what we need more of in this world.
Oh, don't we know it?
Is there any new bands you could put on my radar? Who are you listening to these days?
You know, um, that's a good question. I was going to say myself, but that's because I'm writing it now. But that 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 wouldn't be the right answer. Uh,
We already know about you.
Hey, honey, what's that song you listen to all the time that I always joke around and said if you play that song one more time, I'm gonna. Um, oh yeah, no, the other guy the other guy said I'm gonna go and hunt him down and give him a hysterectomy with a frozen spoon or something like that. I say it's funny. Yeah, no, he listens to a lot of music that I didn't particularly listen to. So again, like I said, you think I have any level of control here? I don't. So sometimes I'm just listening to what she's listening to, and she's got me into listening to some of her newer sort of funky gospel music stuff. But I don't know the names, but it's getting in there. Some of those grooves are getting into there. Um, I think I've been listening to Richie Kotzen lately too.
Guitar
Oh,
player, smoking.
oh,
Yeah.
oh my God, he's ridiculous. I've been getting into some Parliament Funkadelic, like Cosmic Slop. I've been into that, and I went down a Sly hole. But bands of today, it's there's songs of today that I listen to. You
Hmm.
know, there's songs, um, but I sometimes I don't remember the names of the bands. I just whether it's coming in a commercial, and I'll go, oh, what was that? Who was that? And I'll go and try to find it. So there's songs I listen to and go, that's really really cool. Um, but I can't remember anybody's names, unfortunately.
That's what's
Is that a good enough answer?
that's what's going on in music these days. Is it's not leaving a mark. Today's music, right? Where you connected to the music back in the 70s and 80s and even in the early 90s, you connected to it. There was like a lot of soul. And today's music, I feel, has no soul, no heart.
You know, I was talking about this with a buddy of mine. I said, as the advent of technology got better musically, and we all enjoy it. This
Hmm.
is not a complaint. I'm not sitting here going, get off my lawn. I'm not doing that. Uh, but I've noticed that in as the technology's gotten better, the level of songmanship sort of took a step back because it's too easy to make tracks, which is one of the things I try to do with Jupiter Rising music. Is if you listen to it, all of it takes you on a journey, which is what music was before. It the reason you got into that stuff is because it took you on a journey. It spoke to you in some way. And yeah, so today having a lot of tracks done, and they do sound great. Sometimes the songwriting ability and the personal touches on them aren't or that personal fingerprint, if you will, isn't always as prevalent in there. So I guess you can call that soul in a really long-winded way of saying it. But
Right on, man. So you have a couple gigs coming up. Can you promote them? Talk about what you got going on as far as gigs going. They're few and far between
well,
these days.
I've been doing a lot of the controversy stuff. It's sort of something that's taken hold,
Mm-hmm.
even during COVID. But February 13th, at a place called Bar 13, um, Controversy's playing a set of Prince and doing the whole show thing. It's in Wilmington, Wilmington, Delaware, 1706 Philadelphia Pike, and I'm bringing along, and I thought this was a beautiful pairing, a Jimi Hendrix tribute band to open for us.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, so think about it. You don't see a Jimmy to Prince, setup when it comes to tribute acts that much. And I went, oh, it's a natural pairing. Let me get it together, and I put it together. And we're going to be there on Saturday, February 13th. It's a great show, great venue. Come on out if you guys are in the area. I'm telling you, I'm guaranteeing you'll have a good time. Not possible not to. It's a party. Um, and in April, we're going to be with at Halftime Sports Bar over in Newark, Delaware, until Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and all that opens really, really back up. We've been trying to just really be careful
Yep.
and take what we can, do what we do, but it's not my plate is not as full as it once was. So, but we'll get there. I
Absolutely.
guarantee that.
Absolutely. I think when it comes back, it's going to be stronger than ever.
Oh my God, it's going to go off like a pipe bomb.
Yeah. I agree, man. I agree. This has been great, though, Johnny. Thanks so much for taking time to hang out with me. And big ups to our friends over at Reverbnation, which I'm also going to extend that competition going on, well, the contest going on through the beginning of this year, too. So we're going to open it up to more bands and feature more artists such as yourself and new artists that need to be put on our radar here in upstate New York. So this has been a great conversation. Do you have a website you could promote?
Well, a lot of my stuff I've been doing on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the middle of my social media guy, Dom Russell, is in the middle of actually putting together the website that's going to have all my stuff, including, um, you can directly buy my albums and my music or my singles or download the videos and such, and it's like I guess taking me through the journey, my musical journey. So when I get that completely up, I will shoot you guys an email or a text, and hopefully you can blast that out on your show and all your listeners, and they can come and enjoy the music of Jupiter Rising and I wish everybody the best, man.
Yeah, man. But when this all is done, we're bringing you up here to Utica, and we're gonna put on a show. We're gonna have a big freaking party and have Controversy and Jupiter Rising playing, and just have an all-out freaking party.
Absolutely, I'm gonna hold you to it.
Yeah, no, seriously, we're in, man. We're 100% in. I love Prince and I love your music, man. So I suggest everybody, the order of the day today, people, go out there, go listen to Jupiter Rising and check out everything that Johnny Jupiter's got going on. It's amazing music, good music to clean your house to. That's how I was cleaning my house over the weekend, and I had you guys blasted, and I was like, "This is perfect music to clean, get your butt moving, you're vacuuming, sweeping the floors and shit." It was like it got me in a good mood, man.
Absolutely, man. That's what it's there for.
That's what it's there for. Absolutely. Johnny, thanks again, man. What's that?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Please keep in touch if you got new music or whatever. Keep in touch and use my platform, man. If you got any shows coming up and around in our area, and hold me to it, because I would really like to bring you guys up here and throw a freaking party with you and have a couple beers, smoke a little something with you, and have a good night. Thanks again, Johnny, for hanging out with me, man. Also got to
enjoy.
Yeah, man. Also got to thank my sponsors, EJ8 Moving Services, the professional movers. When you're ready to move and relocate, hit them up at 315-335-0516. My attorney, Dave Longaretta, Utica Coffee, and, of course, Saranac Brewery. For Johnny Jupiter, IMZ, and EC Radio, we are out. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, Apple, Google, Amazon, all of them. We're pretty much everywhere. Just Google Disruption Network, and we come running. We'll see you. You guys have a good day. Later.